Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me for this segment, we have Jeff Edison, CEO of PECO, to discuss the headwinds and tailwinds that are impacting the commercial real estate space. Jeff, it is great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thanks, Jill. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Tell us about PECO Grow and why investors should consider investing in PECO.
Well, we set this company up almost 30 years ago, and it was based on a fundamental belief that buying right-sized, open-air shopping centers anchored by a grocery store was a great investment. And we kept that going for 30 years, reformed it, and kept improving it over time. And it has proven to be a very long-winded type of format. And what we have done is really focus on continuous growth over a long period of time. And we do that through two engines: the internal growth, which is driven by taking shopping center space and leasing it up and improving the occupancy, and as well as renewals and internal spreads that we get contractually in the leases. So we get that strong internal engine that allows us to grow. And then we also have a very active both redevelopment and acquisition program, which allow us to have external growth. And because of that, and because of the necessity-based focus, we end up delivering a lot stronger alpha with less beta. And so we're protected on the downside, but we've got a strong upside in our growth potential.
Well, Jeff, commercial real estate is a broad space. What areas are still facing headwinds, and where do you see opportunities and tailwinds?
I don't know. I'm not the one to talk to about how office and some of the other places are going. But in terms of the grocery anchored shopping center business, we're in about as strong of operating environment as we've been in a very long time. And it's being driven by a number of factors. The biggest drivers have been the fact that, things like suburbanization, working from home, all those things are putting people in near our centers more of the day. And so they're doing more of their active buying in our centers. And that's allowed us to be in a very strong demand side, because the retailers are recognizing that and wanting to be closer to the consumer and in our shopping center. At the same time, we've been in an environment where there's really been minimal to almost no new construction over the last 10 years. So you've got this strong demand with a limited supply, and that's allowed us to have very strong operating results. We're at the highest level of occupancy we've been at, among the best leasing spreads we've been at in almost 30 years. So a really very strong operating environment, unlike some of the other parts of the real estate business.
Mm-hmm. What does PECO look for in a retailer that you want in your centers?
So we actually look at the center first, and we try and create a merchandising mix that the shopper who's 3 miles from our shopping center wants to go on Saturday morning and get their necessity-based goods from. And so whether that's, the right person to a haircut place, the nice place for getting your nails done, the nice place to do your workout, to get a smoothie, to get your grocery anchors, all of that necessity-based stuff that you got to do on a Saturday morning when you get up. We want to make sure that we've got the best operator. So that's where you want to go when you think about those shopping experiences.
And finally, PECO has historically distributed a monthly dividend instead of quarterly. Do you see that changing?
We don't. The dividend is one part of our overall investment strategy, and for a lot of our investors, getting that monthly check is a wonderful thing. And so what our big focus here is to make sure that we create the earnings growth, the growth in the stock price, but also the growth in the dividend. So we're providing all three of the pieces that make this for a really good investment for our shareholders.
All right, Jeff, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thanks, Jill. Have a great day.